Greetings from Podcastville. The church of what's happening now is brought to you by my fucking favorite, MeUndies. Listen, you heard me talk about them before. You know, they're fun, they're comfy undies that feel as good as they look. To those who haven't tried them yet, listen up. You can get an incredible pair of underwear sent to your door with MeUndies, meaning no more hunting around for the perfect pair at a crowded store and eventually settling for good enough, some white fucking things or some loose things. MeUndies are the best underwear out there. Since I've been doing the podcast, they've been working with me, and that's the only underwear I wear. Done. I got rid of the white ones, the boxes, everything. You know why? Because of the material. The material, I don't even know. It don't matter. It keeps the nutsack, it keeps the muffler, everything nice and moist. And that's the most important thing.
Nice and dry.
Nice and dry. What do you mean nice and moist, Joey? No wonder you got... No, nice and dry. That's what I'm saying. Go to MeUndies right now. Go to MeUndies.com right now, and what I'm going to do is get you 20% off your first pair, free shipping, and 100% money-back satisfaction guarantee. Right now, go to MeUndies.com/Joey. That's MeUndies.com/Joey. Now, let me explain something to you. Now you got some great underwear. But do you know that 66% of men lose their hair by the age of 35? Thing is, when you start to notice hair loss, it's too late. It's easier to keep the hair you have than to replace the hair you've lost. Now, you're looking at me going, Joey, what the fuck do you know about hair? Let me explain something to you. I know I got the Elvis hairdo right now at 55, but I grew up with a guy that didn't have hair, and it killed him. I watched him. He ended up robbing a gas station when he was like 40. Part of it was the hair problem he had because he did the plugs, he spray painted his head, he did everything. I wish forhims.com, a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness for men, was around then, because my man wouldn't have gone crazy. You understand me? Listen, no waiting room, no awkward doctor visits. Save hours by going to forhims.com. That's forhims.com. Order now, and the church family gets a trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now, while supplies last. Go to the website for full details. This would cost hundreds if you went to a doctor or a pharmacy. So go to forhims.com/Joey. That's forhims.com/Joey. Again, that's forhims.com/Joey. Keep everything together. Keep the hair on your head. Keep the tut, and kick this mule, Lee. It's a beautiful fucking day to be alive. If you haven't seen Steven Tyler on the Joe Rogan podcast, you're slipping out. I learned a lot. My guest today is the beautiful, my man, Mr. Donovan fucking Patton.
Hey.
And the Christ Killer's here.
Hello, good morning.
Ready to rock. But the most important thing is, I love this guy. He's the most interesting guy I've met in LA the last 3 or 4 years. Like, at first I saw him and I'm like, this guy's just a fucking nice sweetheart of a guy. And then he moved to New York for a while and we did a show at Gotham and he came out and we had to drive over together. I'm like, this guy's the real fucking deal. Like, he knew his hand around the city. He knew where he was going. And you were raised here?
I wasn't raised anywhere. I'm a military brat. So I was born in Guam. Like, I don't have a hometown. I lived in New York for about 16 years. I was born in Guam. We moved to Colorado Springs and Aurora and Denver. That's where my mom's from. My father's from Utah. And then they divorced. When my mom got remarried, we moved to Germany. Moved to Vegas, lived in Vegas for 3 years. Moved to Napa, California, but then I ended up going to this boarding school in Michigan. And then I moved to New York after that. Well, New Jersey City and then New York City after that. So I bounced around. And then when we moved here, moved back to New York, then moved here again. Can't stay in one place. I haven't lived in the same house for more than 2 years for my entire life.
Oh, my God.
It's kind of crazy.
That sucks. Are you happy you pretty much settled down there?
Yeah, I think we're done for a while. We got kids now, so it's like we gotta try at least to stay in one spot for them for a little bit, I think.
Now tell these motherfuckers what you did for years, because that was the most interesting thing ever when my wife was telling me.
Right.
I had no fucking idea. She filled me in. She knows I don't know dick about dick.
I did Blue's Clues for 8 years. I did a show called Blue's Clues. I took over for the first host, this dude Steve. And then, yeah.
How old was Steve when you took over?
I don't know. He was in his 20s, I want to say. I was like 21, 22 when I got that job. So.
And how'd you get the job? Fresh from an agent called you in and said, go in there, or they saw you somewhere? Or...
Yeah, no, it was just a regular audition. I was doing plays in New York and waiting tables, and it was like the one that worked. I was up. It was I was up for Blue's Clues and Blair Witch 2 at the same time, and I remember being really psyched about my Blair Witch audition because I got to make out in that audition. And yeah, it was like a weird thing. Like I don't know. I got to meet the director, this guy Joe Berlinger, who's done some amazing documentaries. He did Some Kind of Monster and I don't know, some pretty heavy stuff. But I got to meet him. And I used to work at this video store where I would deliver on a skateboard, delivering videos around the Upper East Side. It was like silly. So I got to meet this dude whose movies I loved, and then on the whole flip side of that, completely opposite to all of that, I was up for this show Blue's Clues that I didn't know a whole lot about. And so, that's the one I landed. And I'm like, it was I never intended to do kids TV ever.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
Nobody wakes up one morning and goes, you know what, man? I'm going to fucking be a Disney actor.
Some people do. And
well,
sometimes...
You see it. They go from show to Disney show. It's the world of kid acting.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts.
Well, with kids, it's different. With kids, it gets to be like a whole weird thing, because half the time you're like, dude, are these kids actually into it? Like, I had the opportunity to meet a couple of kids doing interstitials. We were basically just commercials and stuff like that. And I met these two kids, Mackenzie and Zoe. I don't know their last names, and I probably wouldn't say their last names even if I knew them, but they were loving it. Like most of the other kids that were on set that day, you could tell it was just like a little bit of work for them, and their parents were really getting them into it. These kids, it was in like around the South Street Seaport in New York in February, and it dumped about a foot of snow that whole day, and we were sitting outside shooting part of it, and they didn't care. So some kids love it. It's great.
You have children now.
I do. Yeah, I got I call them frankincense and myrrh in the public.
Now, if they came home and said, we want to act?
My daughter's done some voiceover auditions and stuff like that. Like my voiceover agent sends her auditions. She does a great job too.
Yeah, she probably does.
Yeah, she's got...
They do it right off the natural. They don't need an acting coach.
No.
They read it how they see it. Now, what about if she told you she wanted to do it in front of the camera?
I mean, she's talked to me about that a little bit. I'd be okay with it. As long if it's what she wants. Like, I just don't want to be me pushing that agenda on her. Okay. I think that's where the problem is. If it's some unrealized dream of a parent. I mean, I don't know. Isn't that with a lot of things? Could be football, could be whatever.
I never, I don't know. You never think of acting. And then I came out here and I started acting. And the first couple things I did, I didn't know this dick. I was just happy to be there.
Yeah.
And then I started landing roles that involved kids. And I'm a hands-off kids guy. Like, at that time I was probably dating Terry, and I was going through my own shit with my oldest daughter. So I was like, I ain't talking to fucking kids. Kids are the last thing I want to talk to. But every once in a while, you have to talk to them. You have to talk to them. You're in a scene with them, and I get to see their parents.
Yeah.
And I get to see the story. After a few days, like when you're a kid on set for one day, you really don't see shit. It's after a few days. First off, a kid can only shoot like 4 hours, right?
Yeah, there's tons of rules
something weird. It's like weird. They have to get.
They have school on set, don't they?
On the set, yeah. There's teachers on set.
Yeah, if they do enough.
There's teachers on set, and I did a string of movies with kids, and the teacher on that set was creepy. That one.
Really?
Time. Yeah, because this production company was cheap. So they always hired the cheapest they could to do things. And the teacher they had, I could tell he was like a molester. Like I could tell, like I was looking at him going, oh, this motherfucker. I had my eye on him the whole fucking time. But then I did TV shows with kids.
Yeah.
And that's when I noticed the creepiness.
Well, Joe, you told me a story about like an audition you went on.
Right here in Ventura.
With that woman on the floor or something?
15 years ago. Right there, where they audition people in Studio City for commercials. It's
a
big building. I think it's next to All Can Harry's or something.
Sure.
It's like a big fucking place where it was a day like this, where it was drizzling out, going to rain, back to drizzle, and you had to park a block away and fucking dry, like walk a block. Like it was packed. This is in the height of the audition stage where you were going to 2 commercial auditions a day. Like you would be leaving one and they'd be hitting you up to drive to Bundy because they're looking for a hand model. You know, shit like that at 5:45. This is crazy, Lee. This is pre-2005, where you went out a ton in this town. A ton if you had a heartbeat. And I went to this fucking place. It was raining out, and I walked in, and people were in there sardined.
Yeah.
Like they're sardines, but this little Asian girl. Beautiful. You know, you gotta be 8, 9. You could tell the kid's gonna be a fucking star.
Yeah.
And I got no problem with that. The problem I had is that she had her headshots, like 22 of them laid on the floor. And she was taking this much area of the room while other people were standing outside, and the mother didn't say nothing.
Was it all the same picture, or was it different
all
pictures?
different. And her little girlfriends were picking out pictures. I think it creeps out the kid a little bit if the kid is not prepared for that situation, if you take that kid past a certain level.
Well, I mean, it's you're asking them to do an adult job. It's weird. It's a job, you know. It's a strange thing, you know. It's doing plays or something can be fun if you're doing them at school or something. Like, I don't know.
Right, but
I started wanting to act in junior high, but that's a world away from I don't know.
Something
kids
with
who are young.
Something that we've been talking about a lot recently is what this town can do to you, and how some adults go crazy here. I can't imagine growing up from that and being 8 or being 4, and then from literally your entire life, people are kissing you out, doing whatever, and like maybe that's why there's a lot of child actors who have issues, because maybe at 20 something they don't get some gigs and they're used to people being certain ways.
Look, you've seen it. We've had a few fucking crazy people in this fucking place that they were child actors, and you see the difference. It does something to you. I don't know if I want mercy in that world, right? I just don't even. I don't even like it.
Yeah.
I don't even like the parents. Like where I went to breakfast this morning. There's women that live like they're fucking Mariah Carey because their husband's a writer on a show, and their behavior is unacceptable in my world. Like how they drive around Studio City and how they pull up.
They double park.
Sideways. Yeah, they pull up and they double park. And they just don't give a fuck. And at the end of the day, your husband's just like me. We're just a piece of meat.
Sure.
I don't know why the fuck you're driving around acting like, the town drove that lady crazy. She started believing the hype at the parties and shit like that. I can't imagine what it does to a young mind. But my point in this whole fucking thing was, there was one show I did where I recurred, and that was the first time I saw the creepiness of, it's like the kids are puppets for the parents. Now, I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying all of them. I'm just saying, like, out of the 5 kids on that particular show, 2 of the parents were beyond creepy. But then I did a guest star on another kid's show. And I had a great experience. The director was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
How he worked with those kids was brilliant. The only thing I found weird on that set was the parents. That one was this was the pinnacle of the biggest kid company, which is Disney. This was one of their hit shows. And I talked to the one mom. First of all, on shoot days, you think the moms are going to shoot.
Right.
You think the moms are going to shoot. The moms, all of them have fake tits. All of them had liposuction. I mean, they're hot. What people call MILFs, hot. Sure. Whatever, hot white women. I don't fucking know. Like, these are MILFs.
Do you think they dress up to try to get discovered for the show? Like,
I don't know. You don't understand it. But then you talk to them, and they'll tell you different situations. Like, where are you from? Your accent seems... And I told the girl... North Bergen, New Jersey. She says, oh my God, we live in Weehawken.
Yeah.
And I go, really? And she goes, well, we're originally, I thought you guys were from South Carolina. She goes, no, we're originally from South Carolina. But because of his acting, we want to be close to the city. So we rent the studio.
Right over the bridge?
Yeah, they rent the studio for like $2,000 a month. And I go, where's your husband? And she's like, my husband's back working. We're out here while he's fucking busting his ass in whatever town he's in with his construction company, sending money up. So Timmy could have his dream of acting. So the kid was doing like plays in New York. So the mom would get up with the kid and just haul off to different cities. He was telling me the story. It was like being like your daughter's like in softball, only for acting.
Yeah.
But you see it like the parent was maybe a failed actor or maybe never even fulfilled that dream. So they push that dream on their child and you see it.
Yeah. That's, I mean, I don't want to tell anybody what to do ever. In my whole, like, I've kind of lived my entire life to try to never, ever tell anybody what to do. And that's weird as a parent because it's sort of your job to help try to get them to be a fully functional adult at some point. But yeah, it crosses a total line whenever you're putting your dreams essentially onto another person. They got to grow up and be their own person. I don't know. It's not like anytime I feel like I say anything, like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to parenting. My kids are young. I got to skip to the end of the book. Who knows how that's going to turn out?
Listen, man, when I think to myself that I'm a parent, I just shake my head.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm a parent. I can't, after all the things and the craziness I lived, now I got to tell some child how to fucking live. I'm in the same boat as you. I guide her a little bit. You know, I want her to learn how to protect herself.
Yeah.
I want her to...
Is she doing jujitsu?
No, she doesn't even comprehend it. Today's her last karate class.
Nice.
At the school.
Oh, okay.
But she doesn't get it, guys. So, and I can't push it on her.
Yeah.
She's a sweet kid. I can't change her fucking DNA. She really, really, really is a sweet kid in her heart. And I've seen her lately. Like the other day at Menchie's, we went and the kids wouldn't share with her the blackboard. And she said, fuck it, I'll sit here and wait until one of them is nice or whatever. And then one of the kids left and she picked up the chalk and she went to her own little corner. And she don't bother nobody. You know, it's gonna shock her when a kid does something mean to her. I see how she reacts. She's still mad at a kid from 2 years ago.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
She holding run?
There's a kid at her school now that keeps busting her balls with everybody's balls. He's become a real pain in the ass. I feel bad for the parents.
Right.
I feel bad for the parents. But, you know, when you talk to Mercy, she fucking gets pissed off about him. But at ballet, there's another ball buster girl in ballet, and she's got to tell the girl, like, knock it off. You know, stop it. You know.
But she stands up for herself, you know.
Yeah, a little bit, but I could tell she feels bad. She feels bad. Later on, I asked her, I go, what does that girl break your child? And she's like, Dad, it's too much. You know? It's just too much. She said it to me in a funny way that I was like, okay, this is my daughter.
Yeah.
You know, this is my daughter. She gets it. I understand. She don't like people breathing on her. She don't like people moving around too much. Like when I used to do blow, I hated people who moved around a lot around me. Like I tell them.
Like if they physically moved around
like
you?
If you come over, sit fucking still. You get up to go to the bathroom. I don't want no dancing. I don't want no looking out windows. I don't want no fucking nothing, all right? It makes me nervous. All that shit when I'm home with my daughter and she's running around, it makes me fucking nervous. I gotta tell her 15 times. This ain't the goddamn playground. This is a living room with points. And then I tell her, I ask, you know those little points on every
anything, a table, all of it. Yeah, absolutely.
You can't relax when they're around.
Well, it's all eye level right now too, right?
Yeah,
she's gonna bust her eye.
Oh, she comes into the room, the office, and fucking jumps around, and you know, in the office I gotta watch it because I got everything in that office. I got keys, I got scissors, I got a stapler. You know, I got vitamins.
It's
I got
like the set of Saw.
You have a big glass thing on the corner.
Yeah,
that big thing could come down.
So I tell her you got to be careful and shit. But it's I don't know. I don't even want to tell her I do stand up. Like I don't want her to understand what I do.
She's gonna have to experience that at some point, though, right?
What's that?
Like she's gonna be able to find it, or you know, like because your stuff's all online.
Yeah, but...
Does that change how you... I mean, I don't know. I guess it probably wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't change what comes out of my mouth. It scares me a little bit that eventually she's going to find that stuff.
But you're going to have the benefit of, like, talking to her beforehand. You know, like, you talk to her every day.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so, like...
Every day, so...
She's not going to, I don't know, grow up... to me, between you and Terry, I feel like she's gonna grow up and know how to just stand up for herself, like you're saying. Just
yeah,
like,
no, you have to have your child stand up for themselves. I don't want her to know about the stand up early on.
Yeah,
because I don't want her going into class and acting like the fucking ass class clown. That means the world to me that she doesn't go in there and thinks because I do what I do, she could act like a fucking clown in class. Like, that's not acceptable in my world.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to take her away from that. I mean, if she comes to me one day and she goes, talk to me about stand-up, I got to talk to her about it.
Yeah.
I have no choice. But I got to be honest with you. I've seen daughters of comics that have tried to do stand-up and all that stuff. And it's a disaster. It comes from a different place. It comes from a different place because as a comic, maybe, and I'm not talking about this in general, maybe this is why I take Mercy so seriously, because I've seen the daughters of famous comics. Their dads are on the road. Their dads missed a few birthdays because they're on the road doing a show.
Yeah.
You know, I want to do that, but on the other hand, I don't want to do that. I just want to be a regular dad.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a mix. But at the same time, I wrestle with that as a parent a lot, too. Just in terms of how much you want to be there and be involved. And because my schedule's irregular, there's sort of this idea that my wife and I have. We both have irregular schedules, that we should be there for all of it. Can't miss any of it. But then I also think they're going to have to grow up. And you're going to have, they're going to grow up watching you, and don't they want to see you doing something, essentially? Like, you know, they're going to have to want to go see like a capable person. My wife always, when my kids were younger, she would have to, she's a photographer, so she would leave town every now and again, and she got really upset about everything she missed. And I said, they're going to grow up and they're going to see this woman who built her own business. They're going to see this woman who basically is like fully capable, completely professional, and like knows what she's doing. That's the model that they're going to have. So, I mean, who knows? Like, you can't be gone all the time. But I feel like, I don't know, everything about parenting, I'm completely split in half about.
Me too.
And because we're not going to know until they're 20, 30 something, like if what we did worked.
But I've been around so many people that have been broken, including myself. And I know where the gaps were.
Yeah.
You know, I know where the gaps were. When I was first a parent, when I was 27 years old, I wasn't even ready for life, never mind parenting. Parenting was about money. What you could buy the child and shit like that.
Right.
Sort of how my childhood was in a way. I like the other style of parenting. You know what parenting is? Watching TV with your kid for an hour. Helping them with their homework. Taking that walk with them to Menchie's.
Yeah.
Being at their fucking events. You know, letting them know you're there. When they look to a certain place, they know you're there. You know, they're always in comfort, you know. Things are going to pop up.
Yeah.
Things pop up. But I want to be, like this year I missed the World Fair at the school.
I did too.
Okay? I missed the World Fair. That sucks dick. That's her day. I got to be there. So next year, I got to look around that date and not book at that date. And these little things that I'll continue to fucking do while I'm doing comedy, because I know how much my presence is important. If not, she's going to be searching for those answers at comedy clubs 20 years from now.
Well, don't you think? I mean, obviously your presence is very important, but I grew up with some people whose parents were always there, to a point where when they get to be 23, when they're moving out of college, or even when they get to just college, they kind of lose it because they don't know how to do laundry. They don't know how to just survive by themselves a little bit.
No.
I made my kid change a tire the other day.
Yeah, no. I got Mercy. Mercy cooks. She brings the laundry to the thing. She does all that shit. And as she gets older, listen, man, like I say 1,000 times, when I was 12 in the summers, I would get up and my mom would give me a mission. And that mission wasn't a pleasant mission. But those missions taught me how to pay bills. Like she would send me to pay the mortgage. And I would, and walk.
Right.
Like walk. Like this is going to take you 4 hours.
You had to go to the bank?
Yeah, pay the mortgage. And take the cash.
Whoa.
She paid me with, she paid everything with cash. There was no checkbook. Checkbooks were for her business. So just the test of carrying $1,000 in my pocket at 12. Just the test of me. And will I let somebody, when I was 5 in New York, this same chain my mom would put on your neck. Who puts a
Right.
chain like this
Nah.
on a kid's neck when you're 5 in New York City?
Is that the one
And
from when you were a kid?
No, but it was the same chain, except
Right.
San Lazaro had diamonds in it. And there was
Except they had diamonds in it.
I was too cheap. I didn't want to spring for the diamonds and the azabache. And my mom would say, don't let nobody touch that.
So you sent me with $1,000. I would have come back with a wheelbarrow full of big league chew.
Yeah. She
Like,
sent
it
me
would have been horrible.
whatever the mortgage was once a month. I had to
Wow.
go pay it. Then the next week, I had to go pay the phone bill and the electric bill. By the time I was 10, by the time I got out of Catholic school, like when I had my little beef at Catholic school and I came home, they were not very happy.
Yeah.
And they were like, by the way, life has changed here. The time zones, the hours have changed here. Because whatever retired, Pepe and Ciego, the day bartender or something, my mom has split shift in the morning. So she's like, if you want to eat dinner now, you got to come up to the bar. That's number
Right.
one. Number two, you want to wear this clothes? You better start washing, bitch. Because I don't do the laundry till Sunday now because of my schedule. So if there's something you want to wear, you better learn how to wash it. And right then and there, we went downstairs and she showed me how to do the washing machine. The whites, the colors, what water temperature, the softener, blah. Just like when Little Soprano moved in with Tony. Remember? And he goes, just write down what you want. And I'll go to the supermarket and I'll reimburse you. When I moved back from Catholic school, it was a different world.
Yeah.
When I went into the 6th grade, it was all my own ironing. I had to do my own ironing. Like if I want to clothes during the week with creases in the pants, I had to set up a fucking ironing board and
That's
iron
next
the
level. I
creases.
was like,
Yeah, she didn't
Wow.
fuck around. She was like, you got thrown out of Catholic school. Now you got to carry that load on your shoulders. And I never forget that first summer. Like my friends were going swimming. I couldn't go swimming. I had to go pay the mortgage. And she would say, the quicker you leave, the quicker you get back to go swimming. And then I watched the Sanford and Son where Red Fox said, it's a job. Do it and get it over with. And I'm like, he's right. So I would get up like at 6 and start walking up the hill at 6, get a ride from somebody's dad. And I'd be there at 8 when the bank opened. I'd pay the mortgage and now I'd walk back down the fucking hill. And I figured out how to do it, you know. Hey, bro, you go up over the hill in the daytime? Yeah, I go all the way to 60th and Bergen Line. Perfect. Drop
Right.
me off on 60th.
oh, you had to
and
walk up
Bergen
Bergen
Line.
Line the whole way. Yeah.
I'll walk from 60th and Bergen Line to, I think the bank was on 56th Street or something. And, and then I'll walk home from 56th Street. And I'll cut through the cemetery and I'll fucking cut an hour off my time. The other ones were easy. The phone bill was easy. And I didn't mind going there because it was next to a diner that made a BLT that rocked your fucking world. Do you understand me? And a cream of turkey soup that would put hair on your balls, even in the summertime.
You were an 8-year-old getting a BLT at a diner by yourself?
11?
That's hysterical.
Bro, when I would come home on the weekends, I would walk to the 4-star after a Bruce Lee movie. At 9, I was 9. Gotta remember, Bruce Lee died when I was 10, guys.
Yeah. Whoa.
So all those movies I watched at 7, 8, and I would go to the late viewing of Chinese Connection. So I wouldn't get back to the bar till 1:15. Do you actually think I would let my 8-year-old daughter
No.
go to the movie theater? And the movie theater was, let's say, we're talking about, what does everybody know on Lancashire? Give me a...
The Lamel Center or whatever? Like
Lemley.
Lemley?
Okay, the Lemley.
Lamel.
The movie theater, in contrast to the bar, like if I went down towards Hollywood instead of going north to Sunland, I would probably have to walk down to the church. What's that church past Moore Park?
Oh, right. What that thing for your
That's
daughter
how
was?
far
Christian
it was.
Nursery School Church, that whole thing? Or?
No, right by Ernie's Tacos,
Yeah.
right by Moore Park. They have like a, what's that street?
It's like a school. Moore Park in Colfax or no?
More Park in Lancashire.
Moore Park in Lancashire. They have the fucking coffee shop there.
Borromeo.
bean.
It's in Charles Borromeo.
The coffee bean. They got a gas station across the street. They got a McDonald's there, don't they?
Close by.
I
It's
hate that I know this, but the McDonald's is on Riverside.
Riverside.
I
It's
know
Riverside.
that too.
So it would be Riverside to the Lemley, my mother's bar, and I would walk it,
Okay.
and I would walk back at 1 a.m.
Fuck.
Would I let Mercy
Wow.
go to that movie theater? I don't think so, guys.
It's not that long of a walk, but at 1 a.m. for an 8-year-old, that's a long fucking walk.
Yeah, no.
4 8-year-olds, 5 of us. Maybe a 9-year-old, a 12-year-old. It'd be a gang of us. That's the other thing.
Well, that gets better, and just in terms of like, you know,
well,
like
safety in numbers. It was,
except for like the stupidity level of what could possibly happen between all of you totally raises.
We would leave there. When you go to a Bruce Lee movie, you leave there fucking ready to stab somebody.
You guys are fighting each other down the street.
Yeah, we're talking about fucking yelling and screaming and fighting at each other. What made you get into acting? At what age did you?
I got in at like 8th grade. I took an acting class in 8th grade because my brother had done one.
Where was this?
The year before. This was in Vegas.
Okay.
And before that, I wanted to be a soccer player. Like, I had no thoughts other than maybe I'm going to go to college someday. I want to play soccer through high school, hopefully in college. Something I didn't, no idea. Like, I don't know. We moved around. I knew I didn't want to go into the military. I knew that much. I would get suspended from school before that when we were living in Germany, and I would have to go like in where my stepdad was working, and it was like the most boring experience known to humankind. And some of the people he worked with were just crazy. So I was like, I don't want to go in the Air Force. I know that much. And then so I took this acting class, and I don't know, because there were girls in the class. Basically, that was it. Like, you know, my brother would tell me some of the stories that he had to read the year before, and I was like, and there's girls in class. So, like, you know, in Vegas, it was a strange social hierarchy at that time. Because the athletes like weren't necessarily at the top of the food chain or whatever. Like it was a strange, like it was almost like real bad boys were the coolest kids, and all the girls wanted to, like. But when I went into that class, nothing that I did ever mattered. Like because it's like there's 2 guys in that class, and then the rest is all girls, and so that part of it was happy. And I did this little 1-act play. And then somebody dropped out of the other one. They had me do that one. So next thing you know, I'm doing 2 of them. And I knew right away that first night when we were performing, just as soon as it was done, I got this crazy rush. And I remember, I can still see it in my head, just like looking out at the audience. And it's this tiny little theater in a junior high. But my teacher was this woman, Mary Johnson. She also taught me Spanish. And she really encouraged me. And she was super supportive. And I knew right then. Like, I kind of, like, I was playing soccer with, like, the high school team, their, like, summer team. I wasn't super great, but I was, like, good enough. I used my left foot, so, like, you know, they had a place for me, essentially. And then everything changed. Like, after that one night, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And I ended up going to this summer camp called Interlochen Arts Camp, where I eventually finished high school. And I just got woken up to a whole other world of stuff, just in terms of people who thought artistically, and most of the people at that summer camp were musicians. But yeah, so it's like 8th grade. I was lucky in that sense that I knew what I wanted to do at that age. I didn't have to go find that in college or whatever. I didn't go to college. I didn't give myself the option. I graduated high school and I moved to New York City and I went to an acting school.
Did it ever
give myself no second option?
Did it ever waver? Did you ever, for like a year, where you're like, oh, maybe I'll go do construction, or maybe I will go to college, or were you committed the whole time?
No, I always just knew that's what I was going to do, and I had jobs just to, you know, because I had to survive. It was like there were periods where I was living on people's couches. There were periods where I was like, you know, like talking about long walks. Like in New York, I would have to go. I got fired from every single job. I would wait tables at all kinds of places, and I'd get fired and sometimes rehired because I was an irresponsible employee. Like I'd show up late all the time. I'd try to like schedule an audition or whatever, but when I was there, I'd work hard. I'd try. I was never really that good of a waiter. I got fired from Starbucks, from Barnes & Noble. I got fired from all of them.
Crazy when you realize what we couldn't do.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't do shit. Like, I tried everything, but I couldn't do shit. And I didn't want to do it. Like, once I got my mind that I could do comedy, that was it. I would try doing jobs, and they were just a waste of time. Like, once you want to do something.
Yeah.
Anything, and you try to say to yourself, it's just a job, Joey. It's just a job to get me to that next level until I can make money doing that. And you're like, I'm going to try to do this.
Do you remember the first time, like the very first time you ever went up in front of people?
Yeah.
Like doing comedy?
Oh, yeah. First time I ever did anything was freshman year. I joined Intro to Performing Arts.
Oh.
And it was a split level class, like 3 credits, but half the year you did something else. I can't remember what the other thing was, guys. And it was my first introduction to improv. I don't know why I took it. Don't ask me why. I didn't like improv. I didn't like Saturday Night Live. Even though it's at its height with Belushi,
Oh, yeah.
I still wasn't into that. I liked stand-up comedy, but it was so far off the radar, that it wasn't even a thought process. At that time, it was, when I went into my freshman year, probably, it was still Freddie Prinze, Richard Pryor, George Carlin, David Brenner. That was your, you knew Don Rickles. You knew the other guy that had the really funny guy, the white dude that's spotless clean. He's fucking hilarious. You knew him. And
Bob Newhart or Steve Martin. Yeah.
Fucking Bob Newhart's album was great then.
Yeah.
Steve Martin.
I still have the button-down mine. I have a CD of that.
Yeah, it's fucking Bob Newhart was the shit. And you got Lenny Bruce came later. Once I really started looking into comedy, it came later. But the first thing I ever did for that teacher, she was a little lesbian chick. She made me get up and sing "Shattered" by the Rolling Stones.
With all the shadoobies and everything?
Yeah, it was the hottest fucking song on the radio at that time. And it was my freshman year, something like that. And she made me go up there, and I was like, wow, I cannot believe. But I had already, in the 6th grade on Fridays, I used to sing in front of the class. I used to sing over Frankie Valli songs. I would put a nice
Like just goofing off, or
the teacher told me.
She said, "Do you got?"
If you either could fucking do this or do that. I forget the deal she made me. So every Friday I would come in with a jukebox with a fucking little record player, plug it in, and I put on Frankie Valli, "My Eyes Adored You."
Wow.
And the Michael Jackson songs, the early Michael Jackson shit. And I would sing in front of the class. So I had really no fear of.
You weren't nervous at all? Both of you guys never? Because to me, I would have melted. I didn't like any of that stuff.
No.
When I was younger.
I had no.
I always kind of got my approval from whether or not somebody else was paying attention. I don't know, like whatever. Like if people weren't, then I started to feel crappy. If that makes sense. It's the total opposite, right?
I thought the comedy shit. Nah. I thought about music for a while. Maybe playing an instrument seemed cool. But I always liked movies.
Yeah.
I always loved all that stuff, and I'm like, man, I wonder what I could do now. And then I'd listen. I didn't, there wasn't no internet, so you couldn't read up on people. But I read articles and different magazines. And I'm like, oh, who am I kidding? I'm a fucking idiot. I'm an idiot. I can't do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just didn't know. And then I'm right there. I'm in the mecca of it.
Yeah.
Now there's a show. Was it The Office that had a little Spanish guy on it?
Yeah, Oscar.
Oscar, okay. Oscar Nunez has a brother. And when I was a kid, his brother was the biggest deal in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his name is now. But he used to he's a model. And he would go to the city in the daytime and take pictures. He was a good-looking kid. And then when he come back to Jersey, he would go to a hot dog stand on 30th and Bergen Line Avenue, which is where the buses go to take you into the city.
Yeah.
And I would see him over there. He had a street name, though, like Fabian or something. He had like a street name. Like they gave him the Cuban. That was my first experience with it, but I didn't know you could take acting lessons in New York. I had no fucking idea. I had no idea that it even went on like that. And then little by little, I saw a soap opera guy once.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, shit. Right in Manhattan, I saw like Dexter from I saw Dexter and somebody else from one of the soap operas. Dexter was on Dynasty, but the other guy was on something else. And I'm like, why are these guys here?
Michael C. Hall, the actor guy?
No. This is way before.
I was like, Dexter.
No, not even that. No. There's a guy named Dexter.
Oh, okay.
It was a character named Dexter. It couldn't be a cheesier fucking name. And he was on Dynasty.
Okay.
And he was married to the chick on Dynasty, but he was also banging the daughter. All right, so that was his name, Dexter. And then there was a guy on, like, we would watch General Hospital. I dated a girl, and she liked General Hospital, so I would watch General Hospital.
You get roped into that.
And one day I saw that guy, not the singer Rick Springfield, but some other guy from General Hospital in Manhattan. And then I put it together. But at that time, I was doing drugs. I'm eating Quaaludes. I'm robbing people. I'm like, what are my chances of being a fucking actor? So I just abandoned the fucking thought.
Huh.
Now, how far after you got into acting did you get the audition for Blue's Clues?
Like not all that far out of like I got that job in 2000, and I had graduated from acting school in 1998. So it's like before that, you know, I was doing plays and things here and there. You know, I got paid to do a couple of plays. I remember I had this like, I don't know. But at the same time, I was on the border just messing it all up. I was 18, 19 and just totally irresponsible. And like, I was the only one in my family that was doing anything like that. So I had nobody to kind of ask about what you should do, what you shouldn't do. And I was doing this play at the Vineyard Theater. And I remember this director was like, you know, it was a really amazing show. And I'm still in touch with some of the people that we did that with. We were all super young, and it was directed by this guy, Michael Mayer, who directed, you know, Angels in America and a bunch of just, you know, like Spring Awakening and Sideman. And he was just a Broadway director. And he's directing this off-Broadway play. And I was just messing up. Like I was late all the time or whatever. And he just like had to pull me aside. And he was like, you know, you're about to screw all this up, right? And at the time I was like, what am I doing? Like, I don't know. I was bouncing around just being an idiot. And yeah. And then like a year later, essentially, is like when I got that audition. And before there was like a bunch of commercial auditions and stuff like that. You know, it's like you never know what's going to land at that point. You know, you're so young. You know, it's such a crazy thing.
Well, I was just looking at it because I was a little too old even for the original Blue's Clues, but I remember the original one. But I was looking it up, and it said that you had like 1,500. Not you, but they went through like 1,500 people to try to find you. Like that's a crazy. It's not like there was 8 people in the room. It was you went through like a process.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a bunch of different auditions. They weren't like 1,500 people. Like it wasn't like American Idol where they're all spilling out on the street. Right, you know, that would be strange. But yeah, I had no idea. I don't know. It's a silly story. I have a VHS tape of one of my auditions, of the screen test, the final one. And I need to get it converted because nobody has a VHS player anymore. I need to just like watch it. I need to go back and see it because I'm convinced that I got that job because of a Christopher Walken impression, which is the stupidest thing. So I'm on set and they treated it just like they were doing the show. It's a green screen studio, and it's like at this point it's down to 5 guys. And so one of the directors came out and she said, you know, you sound exactly like Matthew Broderick. And you're in this nervous situation. I'm like, what do I say? And so my mind starts spinning and spinning and spinning. I don't know what to do with that information. So I just go back to this thing, like making my buddies like, you know, laugh or whatever. I just says it. Funny. People usually tell me I sound like Christopher Walken. And just like the crew started chuckling and Steve did this slow burn to the camera. And he pulled me aside and he said, okay, so the next time they tell us to go, let's both do Walken. Let's both do it. And I was like, you got it, man. And so we went out and we didn't tell anybody. So it's like we had to start the scene again. And he's just like, hey, Joe. Yeah, Steve. What are you going to do today? I'm like, I don't know. What do you want to do? He's like, you want to play Blue's Clues to figure it out? And like, so we sang the songs like, we are going to play Blue's Clues because it's a really, yeah? Oh, yeah. And so we just kept going with our silly Christopher Walken impressions. I'm convinced that that's what got me the job. They said it was some kind of, you know, like marketing testing that they'd done. They put like all the people in front of kids and they responded to me best. It was, I owe Christopher Walken a thank you.
Now, how many episodes, how did you shoot those? Once a week?
No, it would be like 6 weeks on, 6 weeks off. They would write them and then, you know, they go through the storyboarding process and they make sure that they're all like around the right time. And then we would do, it was a wild thing to do because Steve had been doing it for years. So it was the same crew. They all knew what they were doing, and we rent out this green screen, or it was blue screen at first, and then later on when they changed the colors of my shirt, it became like a green screen or a blue screen, depending on what I was wearing. And we would shoot for about 6 weeks. We get like 5-6 episodes done, but I'm the only actor on set. There was nobody else there. It was me, and then they would have one actor. Both times it was this woman, like different women named Katie. So like they would do all the other voices. They were like just off the camera, so we get all the timing down. And I would show up at like 7 a.m. and I'd leave at about 7 p.m. at some point, and we would shoot like, I don't know, 10 out of 12 of those hours. It was just like a crazy process because like I would go and then, all right, they'd be ready and they'd move the camera and, just like whenever I could go again, and then we'd go and,
How was your behavior on that show once you got on there?
I had to learn to grow up. I had to learn. That's where I actually learned how to be responsible because at some point it was like I realized it wasn't just me. When I was the only guy, you show up late, nobody can work. Like nobody can do anything. And so that's when I figured out essentially how to be a professional. It took me a while. I don't pick things up quickly. It takes me a minute.
And bro, it took me a fucking while too. You have to see it.
Yeah.
You have to see how people act. Like I was given the worst advice. Like a dear friend of mine came up to me and said, listen, all these meetings you go on after this movie, be there late. Make them wait for you. That's how you become a star. And I actually believed it. I was late for like 4 meetings. And I'm like, something isn't right here. It's against who the fuck I am.
Right. What did that person do for a living?
He was a comedian. He was a successful comedian.
So they wanted you to develop some kind of air of
Fake
mystery or whatever it is.
I didn't like it.
That,
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't get that part of it either.
And he failed with it. So
right.
It was he failed miserably with it. He failed miserably at the end of his career in many ways because of his arrogance towards people. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. And then I saw it. I see it over years. Like I was just at the Stress Factory. And this disturbed me. I saw that this comic was there, and I go, how was it? And they were like, it's fucking, like it bothers you that this guy acts this way.
Really?
Like you're not in the room. Like he's very nice. He'll come over and say, Lee, hi, I'm da-da-da. Donovan, hi, I'm da-da-da. And then that's it. Doesn't talk to the staff, doesn't want the staff to come into the green room, isn't hungry. Doesn't want anything to drink. Do not bother me. It's just, and you come in, you get him, he goes up, he does his time, he goes off. No pictures, no nothing.
Really?
Yeah, doesn't want to be bothered, doesn't want anybody in the green room.
Is what he's saying that brilliant to where like you have to put up with that?
Not at all.
Yeah, that's yeah.
So the arrogance at every level bothers the fuck out of a guy like me because you put your pants on one leg at a time.
Yeah.
So it bothers the fuck out of me.
I used to think that about like the Queen of England. I was like, at some point she's got to take a dump in that dress.
Yeah,
we're all just
weird.
people.
Yeah. We're just fucking people. We, as people, sometimes blame that kind of caste system on our failure. But there's no real caste system.
No.
We're all the same and we all get the same opportunities. It's what the fuck you want to do with it, that opportunity. Or if you pick up the ball and run with it.
Well, isn't it kind of like what you allow? Because I've been in situations where people are late and just me naturally, I'm a reserved, shy person, so I don't say anything. I think there's some people who, maybe Joey, maybe someone else, who, let's say someone was late or someone talked shit to them on a set, and if you check them a little bit, maybe they won't act that way with you anymore, because they don't act that way with everybody. I think they probably are nice to their friends, but it's just what you allow people to do, like, empowers them to do it more.
When was the last time that somebody checked you that you didn't get angry at them for a few days until you realized they were really helping you out? A guy on that guy that when you got to the play and he pulled you aside.
Yeah.
And he said, what are you doing here? At first you walk away thinking, this fucking jerk off. But if you have any brains as a man, and if your ego allows it, you're like, that person just saved my fucking life.
If I had any brains, I would have done it then. It wouldn't have taken me another 2 years.
Yes. No,
it took
it's terrible.
me a while.
It's fucking terrible what we put ourselves through.
Well, nothing happens on your own. Like my thought of it now is that you do whatever you can do, and at some point, somebody else in your life is going to take a chance on you. Someone else in your life is going to give you an opportunity, and then your job, like a lot of times as an actor, but almost as anything, is to make whoever put you in that room look good.
Look good.
Whoever took that chance on you, make them look good.
Absolutely.
And so it's it all goes together.
I'll never forget, I worked for my brother-in-law for a while. He was sweet enough to give me a roofing job as a laborer. And when I saw my check the first time, I almost died. I couldn't believe what he was paying me. He was paying me thousands to do a laborer's job. And at that age of 30, whatever I was, 29, I decided that I'm not going to be like every other brother-in-law. I swear to God, I was like, I'm not going to be the worthless brother-in-law. That job started at 8. I was there at 7. I made myself be there at 7. Even though everybody else got there at 8. I got there at 7. I didn't do a lot of work between 7, but I was there with them. I had to carry the stuff and load it up.
Yeah.
And I would leave last. And I would do double the work of everybody else or exactly or more than what they did. Just because I was the brother-in-law and I didn't want to make him look bad. So way before I got into comedy, I already knew the need to make people who recommend you good. Because these people are going to keep suggesting you for shit.
Yeah.
They keep suggesting you for shit. Number 2, with comedy, there's a guy named Matt Woods. And he saved my comedy career by having a long talk with me that was very short and very it was one of the best talks I ever got. To this day, I send him my love. Last year he was in New Mexico. But that guy had a heart-to-heart with me that just sliced me in half about stand-up.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to do it type of deal. If
Right.
not, just go back to selling drugs. Like, he was dead serious.
Sure.
He's like, the shit you could do,
Yeah.
but you want to fuck around. You want to show up with a T-shirt, and you don't want to write jokes.
Yeah.
You want to cancel gigs. He goes, I can't even imagine. And today, everything he said was right. That's how much the guy knew his shit. He's like, when you put your head to this, it's going to be fucking awful. People are going to have a hard time with you. Like, he was like straight up, like, I've been doing this for 20 years and I know when I see it. You got it. You just don't want to put no effort into it because you're scared of what the result might be. And that's fine. He's like, you could be a pussy all your life. My inside shattered. That's how you have to talk to people. Either they punch you or turn around and walk away. And they'll complain to their friends, and they'll go on Facebook, somebody insulted me deeply this evening. But if they're men and their ego is checked, they'll go, oh my God, he was right. Well, he said that type of shit all the time. Like, if you're too scared to see what the result might be, if you're a pussy, just go back to selling drugs.
I think I would have started crying instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, right in front of them.
Because they're
God.
right. They're absolutely right. When people talk to you like that, they're like, and people who are weak will quit. Will never go back. Yeah. Because they'll never want to be put in that situation again. That's too close to home to a parent. It's too close. It's even tougher than a parent. It's that football coach. It's that. Yeah. Like, I never want somebody to have a talk with me. Like, the last person that had a talk with me was Rogan, and I don't like it. Nobody should have to have a talk with you about what's going on. Do you know what I'm saying? And those people that usually have to talk with you really love you to death. Yeah. They really, really
They're the ones that actually care. Yeah.
Yeah, they really care about you. And it takes them a lot. Like, you've stuck a fucking nerve in their lives. Like, when Rogan sat me down on that plane, I had nowhere to go. Yeah. Like, I had nowhere to go. I had to hear this out. And I didn't talk to him for a while. I made it a point. Eddie Bravo was the one that said, dog, what's wrong with you? Talk to him. Right. He's heartbroken. He didn't say nothing bad to you, and he was right. Everything he said came out to the letter.
Well, how do do you guys do that talk with people now? How do you choose? Because you can look at people around you and you see 10,000 people a day doing things wrong or ways that you don't think they should do it. How do you make the decision to talk, to have that talk with someone?
I don't feel like I know enough to give anybody that talk right now. I feel like I'm still learning in some ways, you know. That's, I mean, like going back to like what's difficult about parenting. And there's like, I don't believe half the stuff that comes out of my face sometimes. I'm like, but even like somebody's just gonna call me on it.
Even if you were on a set and saw 23-year-old version of you wouldn't feel the urge to be like, well,
not right away. I have to get to know that person. Yeah, I have to get to love them and know them. There's shit I want to say to people I just care for. Like, there's comics that I care about that I want to go, hey man, knock it off with that. I don't have the heart to do that. But somebody that I really, 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 really care about, and they're going in a good direction, fuck yeah. Tell them, come here, man. You're doing this. That's all good, but you can't keep doing this. You're just killing yourself to live. How do I know? I did it. You just fucking, it's a tire in mud. That's all you're doing.
Yeah. Or if you see somebody just destroying their own future, it's got to be tough.
I'm trying to get you to get out of that mud. Well, what the fuck do you know? I was in the mud for fucking 15, 12 years. I know how to get stuck and I know how to get out.
Yeah.
I know how to get stuck in that mud for fucking years. I could do it again. You want to see?
Do you guys ever feel yourself reverting back to where you were? Like maybe making a bad decision, being late one time. Like do you guys ever check yourself a little bit?
Well, I used to. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You seem like you probably aren't late for anything anymore. Which has got to be crazy. I got to
get there early.
Yeah,
I got to get there. If somebody if I call you and I go, hey man, I got a TV show for you. It's an ABC show.
Yeah.
Okay. The call time is 8. I expect you there at 7:30.
Sure.
Because you're professional. There's going to be, even if I go to CBS Radford, go there at 8 o'clock. It takes you 20 minutes to park. 20 minutes to park at CBS.
Why?
What's it going to take you at Fox off of fucking, what's that street?
Oh, yeah, on Culver City or something?
Off the side. Pico. You know what it's going to take you? No, they don't let you in Pico no more.
Oh.
You got to go back to Avenue of the Stars and go down 3 lights and then make a left onto this shitty dead-end street to get to Fox. And you got to go in there and you can see the line. Like, the left-hand lane is packed.
Yeah.
Because they got nowhere to go.
Oh, shit.
It's just one street. It's just all roads lead to Fox.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's fucking crazy. So you have to be there.
And even then, you got to go park on like the 5th or the 8th floor or something like that. You got to go way up. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to park. And you got to park close to the elevator because you plan on walking, Jack. All those auditions. You get there and you're like, where is it? And they're like, okay, you see that street? Yeah, go all the way to the end. And then make a left and go all the way to that end. And then and you're like, what? And then after like 2 blocks, the sun's burning on you. You see one of those carts, one of those guys.
Oh, sure.
And you're like, dog, do you know what? Come on, hop in. I'll give you a ride. Oh, thank fucking God.
Well, if you're in a studio like that, I always feel like I'm going to get lost. And then, if you don't know where you are, it takes forever. Because they're so big.
I worked on a show on Sunset and Gower, and it's a studio, and they have like weird little streets and houses. I got lost. I worked nights. I worked at 3 a.m. I was walking through the back of things. Someone had to finally come and rescue me. I didn't know I had. It's
scary. It's fucking scary as shit. Let me do some shout outs here.
Yep.
No, it's great to get you on just to talk from that perspective. Syatt Templar, I love you. Vasilius Adamopoulos, you bad motherfucker. He's on Facebook rocking it. The Game, Jay Everyday, Don Wrangler, Oat Meltdown. Brandy Lynn Gibbons, don't forget, keep donating. She's making things happen. Lorne Rosenker, I love you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Don't forget, I'm at the Calusa Casino on the 16th. And don't forget, Eddie Bravo and Sam Tripoli are at Cobb's this Friday night. If you're up in San Francisco, go give Eddie some fucking conspiracy theories. Go talk about ghosts, whatever the fuck you're into.
Aren't they going down to Sacramento the next night too, I think, maybe?
I think so too. Well, let's get him up to Cobb's for right now.
Okay.
And then we'll get him at the Sacramento. By that time, Sacramento's a smaller place.
Does he threaten to armbar people if he has
No.
chuck people in?
It would be nice to have that go tour with Eddie, because if anyone's gonna start shit, you're like, Eddie Bravo's here.
Got it handled.
It was actually pretty fun. We did a class yesterday at a jiu-jitsu place, and I was joking with the coach because right above his security sticker, this place is secured, it's just a picture of his jiu-jitsu logo. And he says no one messes with them.
No one,
One time, someone came in to steal something, and they looked in, and there were people doing jujitsu, and they ran away.
That would be awful. That'd be like just breaking into a house at random, and you find out it's like the sheriff of whatever town, and he's just sitting there cleaning a gun. That would be horrible. What's he gonna steal from a dojo or either? Like a sweaty mat? Like, what are you gonna steal?
You never know what's in there.
You never know.
The guy might have his mortgage payment in the desk, and he's renting Starbucks to get coffee.
Yeah.
And you walk in. And there it is. You remember George, the guy that drove us to New York with the
Yeah,
girl? Okay.
absolutely.
George is a dear, dear friend of mine. I love him with all my heart. In 1993, I'm living in Boulder. I'm not going anywhere. Like, I'm just in a fucking pond. And I moved back, and I stay with Mike Runny for like a month until his wife has the baby. And once she has the baby, I have to move in with George. But George is on heroin. That kid that drove us over was a fucking nutcase. Like,
Right.
It was just bad. So,
How do you get out of that?
oh my God. So, he's on heroin, and it's a Sunday. I'll never forget this. And I had this little college girlfriend I was dating. I had been messing around with her in Boulder for about a year. And now she was living by Manhattan Honda.
Okay.
On 18th and whatever that.
Sure, like all the way on the west side?
Yeah, on the west side.
Yeah.
She had a little, and I remember the corner was Goodfellas Pizza, and there was a wild bar on that, like 15th Street. That was a wild bar, and they used to do comedy there.
Was that
Open
Coyote
mic.
Ugly?
No. This was
was gonna
fucking
say,
a bar that just, and I'll never forget being in there, and there was a black chick at the bar. Like, I had a couple of great times in there. Like, I went in there with a friend of mine one night. We bumped into two chicks to do open mic. And next thing you know, my buddy had the girl on stage with no shirt on.
What?
And we're sucking the titties. It's fucking crazy. This bar was crazy. It was a dirty open mic, like Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 9 to 11. I was just getting into comedy. So, to make a long story short, there's one Sunday. I'm bored to pieces. I got $26. I got a spot in the city. And I can't go over now to get weed because I can't afford to go over and back. You know what I'm saying? Like, once I go into the city, I got to go into the city. It's 1 o'clock. I got to wait till 5 or 6 before I go into the city. In those days, I would walk over.
You walk over the George Washington Bridge?
Oh, I would walk from Cliffside
Yeah.
Park and Inwood Terrace
Oh my, that's actually...
all the way to Fort Lee. I'd stop and get a bagel when they had the fresh bagels right by the bridge.
Yeah.
And I'd get a poppy seed with a fucking
I have
can
a
of
buddy
Coke.
who worked at that store.
That fucking
Nicole.
store, Fort Lee Diner is right there, and I'd walk over that fucking George Washington Bridge. And if I was being really greedy, there was a Safeway there, like a supermarket there, a red something, and I'd go in there and steal, like, either tampons or a box of fucking yeast medication. Like, and you walk it over. You walk it over the George Washington Bridge, and you find the bodega on 181st Street. And they would buy yeast medication from you, aspirin, because all the girls. So you would sell it.
That's something I never ever thought there'd be a black market
yeah,
for.
for black market for everything.
Yeast medication.
And it would be like the small 20.
Dude, we were at a store last night that a store that just had a bunch of stuff that was out. It was just like they were gonna put it away or something. But like Joey was looking at me like, if this was 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, they had 6 cases of
man.
Jack Daniels.
Just on the street?
12 bottles a piece. They're 20 a bottle. That's
Yeah.
$200 a case I get at a liquor store. There was 6 cases, $1,200 for 6 cases. Give me $1,100 cash. I'll be out of your life forever. Throw in a bag of chips and a lottery ticket. You know what I'm saying? That's how we lived. Plus, they had 10 cases of Yoo-Hoo, plus a case of Malibu rum. That's a $1,200, $1,300 score in the old days. Real quick. Just go get the car.
Just back it up.
Go get the car. Go get the car. You know where we were parked?
Where?
Where we were parked last night? All
Right.
you have to do is drive it over to the gate. Like, we own the joint. And where you're going to get the car, I'm bringing cases back there. And I just load them up. And by the time you back up, there's already 4 cases back there. You're just loading them in like you own the place. You can't do that now because there's cameras.
Right.
They got you. Like, I'll have to disconnect the 82 fucking cameras. I ain't got that type of time.
Or wear a mask or something, but then
Yeah.
you're the dude wearing a mask and everybody knows something's weird.
Yeah. No. So
Unless you want to wear a mask all the
it's a
time.
Sunday, and it's a Sunday, and it's a beautiful day. I'll never fucking forget this. And George is already heroin down. It's got to be 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and George is already on heroin. He's going in and out of this heroin. And there was a lady right above us, and she's in the backyard cooking hamburgers with like her fucking younger boyfriend giggling. And she had like a kid. That wasn't her husband. That wasn't the kid's father. And I'm watching this, and I go, if she's downstairs, where's her purse? And I went out the front door. I run up to her apartment because they lived right over us. And I went for the door, and sure enough, it's open. I knocked first. Nobody said hello. And she's in the backyard cooking. Her boyfriend's laying out with one of those fucking Guido things.
With the reflector?
Yeah, with the reflector. And I'm like, these fucking dummies. And sure enough, her purse is on the dinner table right when I walk in with a deposit slip, with a deposit envelope. Like she just cashed a check.
Oh, man.
And I just took the whole thing. That had to be $800, and I went downstairs. You know me, dog. I'm an old slide dog. I'm a degenerate.
It's like you have a Spider-Man sense, but it's for thieving things.
Yeah, it was terrible. I always walked into the right place. And I went downstairs, and I hid the money, and I laid back on the couch like nothing happened. And I watched them eat the burger and the whole fucking thing.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm sitting there going, if I leave, George is going to know I robbed him.
Yeah.
So I cannot leave. This lady's going to say something. Sure enough, the barbecue ends. They're not up there 10 minutes. She's knocking on the door with the cops. And she's like looking for George because the whole building knew he was a junkie.
Right.
And they're like, where's George? And George is fucking like, what? And she goes, you robbed my money. Everybody knows you're a junkie. He's like, I haven't left the bed. I've been sleeping all day. And she goes, you could even ask Coco. And I'm like, he's been in all day. And she goes, who are you? And I go, I've been here with him. I haven't left either. She goes, well, somebody went into my apartment and took my paycheck. And I'm fucking howling. I'm howling inside. I'm dying of laughter because she doesn't even think about me. She's just blaming George.
I'm surprised you didn't go down and be like, oh, you're cooking kind of a burger? And then you like share a burger with her.
No. Next thing you know,
I wouldn't have the guts
the cops,
to do that.
This is when I was crazy. The cops couldn't press charges on either of us. Even George said, if you want, look around. I have no money. I got $13. And I had like $26 or something.
Where did you put the $800?
Downstairs in the basement in the garbage, hidden. And dog, once the cops left, we went back to the back room and George goes, I know you fucking robbed me. I go, I know. I'll give you 100. So I went downstairs. I gave him a yardstick and I shot over to the city with 7 bills. I bought an 8-ball.
Whoa.
I got a hotel room in the city. She came over like a doctor. You know me, dog.
My scam was, all right, this is scam. This is ridiculous. I was like, sneak out of the house in junior high or something like that in Vegas. And my buddy Matt and I, and my brother sometimes, we'd go down to the 7-Eleven and I'd take 2 packs of Bubblicious and I'd pretend like I was looking in my pocket for money and then I'd come back out with 1. That was my move.
That's the move.
I thought I was like the world's best criminal.
You take 2 lighters right in front of the fucking guy at 7-Eleven, and when you get for the cigarettes, you ask him for cigarettes, he turns around. When he turns back around, you're pulling out a wallet.
Right.
He's looking at you like, but he don't have the balls to ask you what's in your pocket. He knows you shoplifted, but he can't ask. Jesus. You want for my wallet.
I shoplifted a few times, but not, because they used to, there was a store called Strawberries. When I was growing up, a music place.
With clothes and stuff?
And they had, of course, and that's closed now. They had, instead of gift cards, they had like coins that were worth a certain amount of money. And I took one once. Because it was like the worst system ever. They didn't have to activate it or anything. I did that. This isn't really stealing, but in college I figured out that this place had a coupon that if you spent like $8, you got a free mini pizza. So, or like whatever it was, I did it so many times. They called me and said, you're gonna have to order more, or we're not coming over there.
That's funny. I remember. Oh man, this takes me back a little bit. I forget how old I was. I must have been 6 or 7. It was right after soccer practice because I had my like soccer shorts on, or it was a game, and I had my cleats and stuff. Sometimes when you'd walk around the grocery store with cleats, and I remember putting a box of Tic Tacs in my pocket. I was gonna steal it, and we're out in the parking lot, and my mom could hear me because it's Tic Tacs. They're going like. And she just turns around like, you have what? Did you steal those? Like, I got totally busted. And she made me go back and give them back and apologize to the cashier. It was like that whole thing. Oh, man. I'm surprised I ever stole anything again. I was so, like, mortified. It was a shame.
I was such a
But it's the stupidest thing ever.
Age, I was scared to fucking steal. And then I tried it one time and I loved it. Once I stole and I got away with it, I loved it.
The rush is,
I fucking
even for that gift card was amazing.
And then I tamed it down for years. And then once I became a burglar, once you're walking on ice, you might as well fucking dance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We live in tight dilemmas today, being a parent. I think about that all the time. And you do too. I know you have a daughter and a son. I just have a daughter, and I'm like, what the fuck am I going to tell her? She's not going to see these stories. She's not. And I write a journal for her.
Okay.
Which is slowly getting to the point. You know what I'm saying? It's like in 3 chapters. I write now like every 3 days, every 4 days, what she's going through, what I'm going through, just to slow her in a little bit.
Yeah.
And she's not from the cut that she could get all this. She doesn't see it that way. It's so weird how different we are at the age of 5. At the age of 5, I had already been involved in like a fucking drug bust. Cops had said.
At the age of 5.
I was already involved in a drug bust.
What were you selling? Oregano?
I wasn't selling nothing. I was at a fucking house that got
You're
raided.
just there?
Oh, okay. That makes okay.
You know, to see a raid when you're 5 at a numbers joint and then they raid your mother's place, it gives you doubts. You're at school talking to Officer Rocco, the dare cop.
Officer Rocky.
And it's weird to talk to Officer Rocky when your mother just got fucking arrested for bookmaking.
Right, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
So think about that secret that you're hiding at 5. Mercy doesn't have that shit. She doesn't have that at all. So at 5, she didn't have I didn't have a father at 5. So she's way ahead of me at 5. Way ahead. Like I wasn't even talking at 5. I was just rating to cry.
Do you have a plan with this? Like when she gets 10, 12, when are you going to give it to her?
What am I going to give it to her? I got to see how she takes to what's going on around her. There's no age.
Okay, so there's no plan.
There's no age. She have to see if she's ready. You know, when I see people, when I go up to you and I go, hey man, I didn't know you had kids. And you're like, how old is your daughter? And you're like 16. I always look at that kid and go, could they handle finding Donovan on the floor when she was 16 like I found my mother?
Not many people can.
Kids
I
can't.
couldn't.
No.
Most kids couldn't bounce back from that. You never know what you're ready for until it happens and how you're going to respond to it. You know, I just saw a dear friend of mine a couple of weekends ago. She's never been the same since her father died. I get that. She was very tight with her dad. It takes years of reconciliation and, doubt. When you're a son and your parents die, that's a complete different chapter of your life.
Well, we mentioned it. Luckily, knock on wood, both my parents are still here. But what do you think when you saw that 30-year-old kid who had to get taken to court to get thrown out of his parents' house? As parents, what do you like? What mistakes do you think they made? How does that happen?
They didn't. What's this? They should have stopped Hitler in Munich.
I got it.
That line resonates in my head for everything now.
Yeah.
If you're a fucking business owner and I come in here late 3 times, you're gonna pull me aside one day and go, hey,
Yeah.
we got to stop Hitler in Munich, because if he does this every day, then it's gonna become a problem, and that's where we slip. Like we don't remember that simple fact.
Yeah. And you got to try. There's something that rattles around my brain every now and again where it's like, I'm sitting there and I'll be talking to my daughter, and I don't know if she's just waiting for me to be done. You know what I mean? Or she's just like, just waiting it out. Like at some point he's going to stop talking. Because every now and again I'll get twisted around in my sentence and I'll try to essentially not curse when I'm talking to her, you know, just like, I'll be worked up about something like she's either done or, and my whole thing is not so much about, it's about intention. You know, I say it's not you can succeed or fail. Like, you know, some things happen, some things don't happen, but if you don't try, that's the big problem. And so it's just a matter of like what you're going for. Like everybody deserves respect. And if you're going to do something like, you know, I just don't want to hear, like, I don't want to, or I don't like that, like, if I don't even try it. You know, I don't know if I got a little sidetracked in my point there. But sometimes when I'm talking to her, I don't know if she's just like, I get to go back to my Barbie in like 2 minutes, like whenever she's done. Because we can try, and who knows, like, if they're actually going to listen to our lesson, if they're going to want to rebel against that, or if they're going to just essentially emulate what we do instead of what we say one way or another. I mean, I don't know. It's such a crazy mixed bag. We just don't know. We're all fumbling in the dark. It's crazy.
That's the scary thing. We're not going to know. All you can do is try.
Yeah.
That's what I do with Mercy. All I could do is try. You know, when I saw you do the Christopher Walken, I forgot you're a great fucking voiceover.
Yeah.
You were on Team Umizoomi for a few years. You've been
Sure.
Well, you've done a lot of video games too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done a few, like a lot of, I was, did motion capture for Grand Theft Auto 5, which was really funny. Just like you got the suit on and you're running around. It was like me and this actor, Brad Schmidt, and a stuntman named Chris Place. And it was like the three of us just taking turns doing random stuff, like, you know, like carjackings and stuff that I never would have ever done or been considered to do, like after Blue's Clues. That was a strange, like one of the next jobs.
Did you play one of the main people, or they just had you like?
No, it's the in-game motion capture. So it's like the character as when you're running around, and it's not the cutscenes. But I did a few things with those guys, and they were awesome. Actually, that was amazing watching them. Like Stephen Ogg and a guy named Solo. I have no idea what his real name is, but everybody called him Solo on set, and I never bothered to find out his real name.
Fuck it.
He's got a real name.
Sometimes you don't need to know dick. That's the thing. Donovan, I'm happy you made it on today.
I'm happy to be here, man. This is
and
great.
as things go on, you know, you're real close to us. You can come on whenever you want. Hopefully you'll get an Instagram page now.
I did. I finally went and started. I got on Instagram and Twitter just for this occasion, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with it.
Don't do nothing. Every day put something on there.
Yeah.
Little pictures, let people know what the fuck you're doing. You know, you're an interesting cat. That's why I wanted to have you on.
He's been coming to the fourth wall.
He's been coming to
I
the fourth
finally
wall.
did stand
doing
up.
a little stand up, which is always gets a respect nod out of my fucking.
Dude.
Because I know how hard it is to actually say you're going to go down there and then go down there and get on stage. Like it's you jumping off the cliff without jumping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm just glad that I couldn't hear my own like heartbeat, and that was the only sound in the room the entire time. It was not the worst thing ever, I actually videotaped myself, so I saw it, and then I realized there's like just on the first pass, I was like, there's 16 different ways where I could have been better, just even with that, and it's like I feel like a fraud when I'm up there, like because I don't feel like a fraud. I was talking to Lee about that just a couple minutes ago. I have full knowledge that I don't know what I'm doing. And I want to be good at it. Like once you do it, you get that, like that, I don't know, it satisfies that wanting to perform. I love that feeling. And so I want to be good at this thing, but nothing happens like that.
No.
You know, you gotta figure it out.
I've been doing it 27 years and I feel like a fucking fraud. And I'm taping a thing on Monday for Netflix and I have no idea where I'm at.
No.
But I know,
it's gonna be great.
I practice what I preach. When you commit to the universe, it takes care of you.
Yeah.
I've done everything I can in my part. Something will happen. I'll make something happen. I'm not confident in it. So that's it. I'll see you next time. I gotta get the fuck out of here. Next time we talk, cocksuckers, I just I'm shooting a special at Netflix, hopefully, or I'll be shooting. But I want to thank you guys for busting Netflix's balls and and all the support and love you guys have given us over the years. The church, Scott Cunningham with the page, I love you to death. I can't wait to finally meet you when you come out. And that's it. That's how easy this is. It's been an easy fucking week. I want to thank Donovan Patton again. Watch him on Blue's Clues or the fucking Team Umizoomi or any other fucking other stuff he's done. You can IMDb him. The Flying Jew is coming to Vegas. Danny Brown's coming to Vegas. We're going to see Ookie Spooky in Las Vegas. We're going to see a lot of people in Las Vegas. So I'm looking forward to it. But I want to thank you guys, because without you guys, I'd have Bugatti, I'd have Dick. So thank you again for your support and love, and we'll see you next week. What? Before you leave, I got to talk to you about something. Like I told you earlier, all right? 66% of men lose their hair by 35. It's that hairline slowly starting to move backwards. Any bald spots yet? Me, I answer both. I answer yes to both of them. How will you feel a year from now when it's business as usual up there? I ask you to do two things. Do you want a bald spot to pop up, or do you want do you want to do something about it first? Do you want your hairline to recede, or do you want to do something about it first? Why do guys turn to weird solutions when they can turn to medicine and science? I'll tell you what we're going to do for you. We're going to introduce you to 4hims.com, a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men. Thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Him connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat your hair loss. Well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to help you keep your hair. No snake oil pills, no gas station supplements. Prescription solutions backed by science. And it's easy. There's no waiting room. There's no awkward doctor visits. And you save hours by going to 4hims.com. That's it. That's how easy it is. Answer a few quick questions. The doctor will review it, and they'll prescribe you a product that gets shipped directly to your door, okay? Like I said, I got the receding hairline now, and I'm losing my hair, but it served its purpose. But I know what it's like because I saw what it did to a friend of mine. Don't let this happen to you. What I'm going to do is now, order now, today. The church family gets a trial month of hymns for $5 today, right now, while supplies last. Go to the website first. Go to 4hims.com, answer the questionnaire. You're going to love it, all right? See the website for full details. This would cost you hundreds if you went to a doctor or a pharmacy. What I'm going to do for you is go to 4hims.com/Joey. Again, FORHIMS.com/Joey. For 4hims.com/Joey. Listen, you're going to be happy you went there. Whether it's sexual wellness, the hair loss, or the skincare, we got you covered.
I wish it was around when I was losing my hair.
That's right. That's 4hims.com/Joey. Number 2, MeUndies is the best pair of underwears out there. Again, you know, for years you've been hearing me talk about MeUndies. Half of you have ordered it. MeUndies is special, and it's different from any other underwear because they're made with a sustainably sourced material from beechwood trees. Their naturally soft fiber makes a fabric that won't sag down or won't ride up. Trust me, once you put a pair on, you're going to love them, all right? I've been hooked on MeUndies for years. Whether it's the underwear, the socks, I love everything they do. They sent me short. I mean, they are a phenomenal company. Now, MeUndies is so sure you'll love the first pair that if you're not happy, they'll do whatever they can get to get you the right pair that you'll love. And if they can't, keep them and they'll refund you the money. It's that easy. It's a risk. It's free to try the best underwear ever. Ask yourself that question. And if you're already part of the MeUndies family, tell your friends about it through their referral program. They'll get a discount and you'll get store credit. So it's a win-win situation, all right? Listen, do me a favor. You know I love you motherfuckers to death. Go to MeUndies.com right now. Take a look around. First-time purchasers get 20% off their first pair of MeUndies and free shipping, bitch. That's 20% off and free shipping and a guarantee that MeUndies will make you fucking happy and you'll be satisfied. Get your butt over to MeUndies.com right now and treat yourself, okay? To get 20% off your first pair with free shipping and satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/Joey. Again, that's MeUndies.com/Joey. I want to thank my man Donovan. I want to thank my man the Flying Jew and you motherfuckers for a great week. Again, we'll talk next week. Thank you for everything you've done. I'm going to leave you with some Kenny Rogers. You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille. Kick that fucking muley. Thank you very much. Have a great week.